I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, no.
Hello, everybody. Don't mind me. Allergies are so bad for me today. I woke up
Really?
bad. Oh, my God. So we're going to just jump right on into them because this first question, I love this first question.
I know.
I love anything that has to do with planning. That's like my favorite thing to do. I love to plan. I'm not always a beast at checking things off, but I do love to plan things. So Julia has a question. This is about prioritizing. If you had to drastically cut back your blogging hours, what would you put your priorities on? I've been working about 6 hours a day, but recently had to cut back to 3. New homeschool mom here. Yay. I feel so behind, but I don't want to quit because I feel like I'm finally making some headway. Yeah, when you have to basically you're cutting your hours in half. That is a huge difference. Oh my God. Caroline's probably going to agree with me on a lot of this. I think the most important thing that you need to do, there's 3 of them every single day. You need to spend time every single day on creating content, fresh new content, whether that be for your blog, whether that be for social media, it doesn't matter. You need to spend some time working on content creation. Then you need to spend time every single day getting people to your blog. So whether that be peddling the pavement on Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, you need to spend time on that. And then number 3, you need to spend time on email. Those are my 3 big, that's like my 3 things that I work on every single day. I just spend a little bit of time on each of those platforms, working in each of those areas every single day.
You guys know my love for Post-its. If you don't know my love for Post-its yet, let me introduce you to the giant stack of Post-its on my desk. Here's one. This is one color. Here's another one in a different color. Here's a slightly larger one. Like, I have them for everything. Why? Because I literally sit down whenever I feel like super overwhelmed. This is what I recommend to people. And it actually does work, and it's weird. Write down every single thing on a single Post-it note. And, show and tell time. Wait for it. This is my board. I have my giant board. I usually have a smaller one. I have a list in each one of these categories in like a rough column that is today, tomorrow, this week, and eventually.
Oh, I love that.
And I always do this where, let's see if I can do this while I'm showing it to you. This is how I die. Okay.
And the only reason why it's not super filled up is because she's not here this week.
Oh, no, it's because this is from last week and I just didn't end all of these. I start everything. I write everything down in the today column. And each one of those things gets put into the today column. And what happens is I wind up realizing, like, looking at all the stuff that rattles around inside of my brain. And I'm like, there's no way I can do all of this today. So what are the most important things that are going to move my business forward? What are the things that I need to do? That's the big answer to the question. Because I mean, like, if I look at some of these things, I have things on here that are like, which one are you? I have a new idea for Shopify. That's a great idea and everything. But if I only have 4 hours today that I have to work, I'm not going to be trying to start a new project. I'm going to make sure that I keep my email list active by emailing them at least once a week. If that means that I can reuse that piece of content inside of like from my email that I've written and use it to make a blog post, because sometimes my emails are super long. That's totally fine. I could break parts of it up and use it as Instagram posts. I could then take parts of that email and use it as like 3 things that you can do today to help your chickens or whatever it is on TikTok. You could do it on Instagram. You could do it whatever, make a YouTube video. I'm doing something where I'm taking the same exact content that I've already used and I'm stretching it over all platforms. It's the same exact thing with like, if you, I don't necessarily focus on like writing a new blog post every day because I think that can get really overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, if you have 5 days in a week, right? One day should be making sure that you have an email sent. One day should be made making sure that you have a blog post updated. One day should be set aside to making sure that you schedule out your posts on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Schedule out your social media content or your pins or whatever it is. Scheduling things out so that you don't have to be like, oh crap, in the middle of like bath time or something. Like, I forgot I didn't post anything to Pinterest today. Like, and then you're sitting there like on your phone. Nobody wants to do that. So I schedule everything out one day. I make sure that an email is written, update a blog post, and then you have your things that you do every day, like pinning. Like if you have to do manual pinning, which is right now what everybody's saying, we're not going to get into a conversation about Pinterest. But if that's what you have to do, make your pins one day, schedule those suckers out on Pinterest Scheduler for the next 2 weeks.
No, I agree 100%. And Caroline taught me to love Post-its as well.
Love the
I have a
Post-its.
much smaller version of that big board. I ain't got time for that big board. I need teeny tiny. And I think that's genius, though. I love the fact that when your time is short, Caroline's advice on repurposing as much content as you can is literally going to be your superpower. So I do the same exact thing. Like I said, I focus on every single aspect every day. So I can't do a blog post in one day because I get bored. So I like outline on Monday. I'll write my content on Tuesday. I'll get my images on Wednesday. I'll make it live on Thursday. I'll email my list on Friday. That's not my schedule, but that's kind of how I do it. I just do like 10 minutes on my blog post every day. And I'll do 10 minutes on social media and I'll do 10 minutes on email creation, whatever it is. And that way I'm spending about an hour a day on content creation. Now, with that being said, I know I am my most creative first thing in the morning because as the day wears on, ask Caroline, this is why and Caroline's just like me. This is why we do not do videos in the afternoon because we mentally can't. We would be like,
we were talking about what was the thing? You guys would be like, are you guys okay? We'd be like, yeah, we've just been up for 16 hours at this point. I mean,
we just don't. We don't have the mental capacity to be coherent and productive and inspiring and informational in the afternoon. So we basically do that in the morning. And I know that's when I write my best is first thing in the morning. So I spend an hour every single morning creating content. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as I'm creating something somewhere. I come up with my best ideas in the car, ask Caroline, but I come up with my most creative content.
She drives me nuts. I love you so much, but I'm like, usually we're both driving at the same time. And this one's like spouting off ideas. I'm like, what do you want me to do with this piece of information?
With all kinds of typos because I'm voice texting because I'm driving.
I'm like, I can't write this down anywhere. I'm driving. Like, you're lost.
Yeah. Totally best ideas driving. But yeah, and then
you have to find your peak productivity time and schedule what it is that is like your most mentally taxing thing where you need to make sure that you are laser focused on it. Make sure that you do that stuff at that point in time. If you are a night owl and like you're like, my peak productivity time is 1:30 in the morning, that's when you are going to want to write your blog post.